Hi, I'm Farmer Samson Ogboli, and I want to specially invite you to our Walk and Learn CEO's edition. Now, what makes this unique offer is the fact that I want to start something different and innovative food system. So you realize that businesses generally worldwide run what I call the funnel system. So the funnel system essentially is where you have a lot of people at the bottom of the pyramid, and as you go towards or at the top up this time around, because it's a funnel, and as you move forward you gradually realize that the number of people who are playing at that stage gets to get smaller and smaller and smaller, but the income at the lower level or at the tip level of the funnel exponentially increases. And you realize that the issue with these has always been that there is an unequal distribution of wealth, where you realize that those at the tip of the funnel, that's the bottom end of the funnel, get to make more money, while those at the beginning of the funnel make less funds, and there are so many of them. So, a typical example is if you look at the cocoa value chain, you would agree with me that you realize that we have very few people processing this cocoa, but there are lots and lots of producers. Another example is if you look at the chicken value chain in the US, you realize that just four major companies controls the whole of that value chain. Every other person flows into them. But when you look at the wealth disproportionality, you realize that majority of the farmers are living in penury. As a matter of fact, the farmers own the things that cost money, while these four major companies owns the things that makes money. And we cannot continue like this. We need to find a way to have a system that gives everybody a win-win. And in my own little way, I have already started this movement. What I have been doing for the past couple of months is training young people aged between 18 and 29 in new technologies. Has it been easy? No, but so far so good. We've trained we've trained 3,000 young people. Now it is time to move it up to the next level. Hence, this is an avenue to work with six young people, six CEOs who has a vision that I believe can align with ours, so that we create a win-win system. We want to ensure that we are able to control the value chain from inputs all the way to the production, to the processing, to the logistics, to the packaging, all the way to harvest, all the way, to the consumer. As a matter of fact, I was having a discussion with a very good brother of mine in the industry, and we were looking at the fact that when we say Nigerians sell raw materials, the reality is we do not even sell what the world calls raw materials. I'll give an example. You realize that Nigerians export things like split ginger, split turmeric, and all of that. But in the real business world, that split ginger and all is not the raw materials for the industries, because what the industries actually require is the powdered form. So we want to create a system where we are able to do end to end. We can now sit down on the table in another 2-3 years to say, this is what we want for our work, this is what we want to be paid, and this is what the CEO's edition is about. It's not just about teaching, and teaching is about realigning, because a lot of people do not have a strategy on how to create wealth for themselves and their company. So, can we together come up with a strategy that works? A strategy that works. This is what we want to do in the 5 days together. Can we come up with a strategy that works? Can we come up with something that can be replicated, that people can see the model and say, let's go do this, so that at the end of the day, we have what I would like to call shared prosperity. Shared prosperity. It's not about having visions and prophecies is about having the wisdom to create a food system that is inclusive for everyone, a food system that allows everybody to win, a food system that allows everyone in the value chain to have a shot at a better life. This is what we want to create, not a food system that rewards a few and takes away from others, not a food system that drives the wedge more between the poor and the rich, not the food system that sacrifices the wealth of the smallholder farmer and enriches the greed of the processors and other people in the value chain, but a system that has shared value, shared profit, shared wealth, and much more than that, a shared hope. This is what we want to create. So we are going to be doing like one of my daddies in the industry, Pastor Debo, said, we're going to be having a lot of retooling. We're going to be having new strategies, because like I would always say, it is not the interpretation of the dreams of Joseph that made him the prime minister, but rather the strategy. So strategy is more than any other thing. Strategy is one of the most important things you can use. It doesn't matter how what's the word now, how disadvantaged you are. With the right strategy, you can have your foot in the game. With the right strategy, Luton can play draw with Liverpool. With the right strategy, it's about strategy. So now this is why the criteria, it's a bit much more difficult, where we say you need to apply and say, why should we accept you to be part of this team? This is why we say you need to send a pitch deck, because we have what we are looking out for. We need to know that you qualify to be a part of this movement, a part of this dream, a part of this team. We are not asking you for funds. It is totally free, but we want to work with people with the shared what's the word now? Vision, passion, enthusiasm, and much more than that, shared value system, as we create the food system for the future. What we believe will become the pilot that can be replicated from place to place, to say, this is what works, this is what is working, this is where it is working. Thank you very much.